Today on Let's Fish TV, we're at Ellison Creek Reservoir. It's a little bitty lake in East Texas. From what I'm told, it has a lot of big bass in it and a lot of grass, and those are two of my favorite things to fish. Be fishing shallow with a hybrid hunter, maybe chase some schooling fish this afternoon. Fishing's heating up, and so is this episode. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now.
That's a big one right there.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southeast region every week.
You ever caught a fish that big?
No!
Got him.
Another day. There you go. Another redfish.
Got him! Now, that's what Let's Fish TV is all about right there, guys.
Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Andrew Upshaw, and today we're at Ellison Creek Reservoir, also known as Lone Star Lake. Lone Star Lake sits at just over 1,500 surface area acres. It's loaded with grass, and one thing I know is it's loaded with bass. Today we're going to be fishing a couple different ways, from schooling fish to shallow water grass, kind of show you what the lake is all about. Never been here before, so it's going to be a new adventure for me. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporters. In the meantime, we'll get this Bass Cat Mercury launch, get everything set up, and we'll toss it back to studio for your weekend planner.
Hi everybody, and thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Let's Fish. The Solunar tables are predicting fair game fish activity throughout both days this weekend. Peak game fish activity begins early at 4:33 Saturday and 5:22 on Sunday morning. Afternoon action will begin around 4:57 on Saturday and 5:48 Sunday. Depending on your area, expect the sun to rise around 6:49 and set around 8:18. Evenings will feature a 31% visible moon. Stay tuned for the latest fishing adventures and tips from Let's Fish TV by following us on Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel.
All right guys, today we're out here on Ellison Creek. You know, we have a beautiful day. It's gonna get really hot. Actually, it's projected to be one of the hottest days of the year. This lake is not very big, but full of grass and a lot of really big fish. I'm excited to get out there. I've never been to this body of water before. Really don't have any information on it. We're just gonna go fishing and see what we can catch. We'll see y'all here in just a second. I might actually, oh, there's one. That's a good one. God, he just stopped that hybrid hunter. That's a good one there. Oh yeah, oh, he's barely hooked. I mean, one hook. Man, oh man, there's nothing better than getting them to eat this hybrid hunter around this hydrilla. Oh. There we go. Fish number one of the day on the hybrid hunter. Oh, golly, there's nothing wrong with that bass right there. Guys, today we're at Ellison Creek Reservoir, formerly known as Lone Star Lake, here in East Texas, just outside of Longview, and it is loaded with grass and big fish. This is just the average fish that you would catch here. But I'm gonna tell you guys, I've never been to this body of water. I was told that it had a bunch of hydrilla in it, and I knew right then and there that the hybrid hunter would be the bait to throw, because that thing is built for grass, built for shallow water. This place is loaded with shallow water and good hydrilla. Let's get this fish back. We'll talk a little bit more about what we're doing and how we're doing it. You know, this lake is very, very small. This is a lake that's perfect for like that 16, 18 foot aluminum bass boat. Even the big bass boats like we have today, you don't see a lot of boats out here either. That's one really cool thing about it. I saw one boat today running around, but nobody else fishing. You know, we are in the heat of summer, and a lot of times in the heat of summer, you better get out there early and late, and that's when the best bite windows are. But today what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you how to catch them throughout the day in that extreme heat. I'm telling you guys, this lake, from everything I've been told, has a lot of really big fish in it. And we're gonna talk a lot of really technique specific stuff today and how to catch fish around the grass, around stumps, brush piles, and everything else in between. I'm gonna get back to it. We are early in the morning. I wanna capitalize on that early morning bite. Let's see what happens next.
Hey folks, it's time for your Carolinas Report, this week brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina. That's right, our good friends over at Crazy Sister Marina want to make sure you get out on the water, have a great time when you're in town visiting. We can get you out there with one of our incredible captains on our great fleet of charter boats. Visit crazysistermarina.com, book that trip right now. And I'll tell you what, king mackerel fishing has been hot. It's been great in the salt water. You're starting to see some of the bigger fish starting to move up the coast. I'm hearing of a lot of big fish that are being caught down south at our partners in Georgia, but we're starting to see those fish move up here with all the menhaden that are finally making their way up here. A lot of patience if you're out there looking for the big one right now, but don't overlook heading offshore and hitting those pieces of bottom out there where you've caught a fish in the past. King mackerel are real historical fish. They're gonna typically go back and spend time in the same areas. If you have a lot of success on a deep area, like a live bottom, hard bottom, artificial reef even, out in deeper water in the summertime, don't overlook going back to that place. Get out there, blue runners, bluefish, live mullet, and especially menhaden. Make sure you got some of those around, but don't think about jigging up some of your local species there and putting them out, matching the hatch and finding something that they're feeding on right there. King mackerel fishing is a great time. You can do it inshore, near shore, and offshore. And this time of the year, from now through November, we're gonna have some great fishing here in the Carolinas. So make sure you get geared up and ready to go catch some king mackerel. Let's talk about the inshore stuff. The flounder bite here in the Carolinas is still good. You know, our friends in North Carolina, unfortunately, are having to release all those flounder, but I have seen some great pictures, and they're finding those fish in moving water, moving out of those creeks out towards the ocean. You can get on that sandy bottom and find a lot of fish, and the same here in South Carolina. If you find some areas with some good moving water and this high temperature, you're gonna find some fish that are sitting there waiting to ambush bait. This has been your Carolinas Report, brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
There he is. There we go. It's a pretty good one there. What do we got here? Oh yeah, that's a good one. So that's where having good electronics makes a really, really big difference. But also paying attention to bait size. We're out here, kind of pulled off the bank a little bit, saw some fish schooling, and decided to come use our active target 2 to see what was going on. And sure enough, they were out here feeding. But one of them, the fish that we caught earlier, spit up a shad that was about 1.5 inches long. So we went to a little small fluke style bait, about 1.5 inches long, just trying to match the hatch a little bit, and immediately hooked up with a nice fish. Let's see here, come here, baby. Yeah, there we go. That's a nice one. Right through the top, just like what you want them to be. But guys, that's one thing I want to talk to y'all about. You know, we're in the middle of summer, dog days of summer. You know, Lowrance Active Target 2 is forward-facing sonar, and that's what we're using today, right now at least. And we tend to use it a lot, but not necessarily the way that you might expect. You know, everybody talks about, you know, using forward-facing sonar, catching fish that you can see on your sonar out in front of you, but more times than not, what I actually use my forward-facing sonar for, maybe more than anything, is to line up targets or to find certain structure. You know, earlier when I was using the hybrid hunter, I was going down grass lines trying to find little irregular pieces of structure coming out in the grass, or maybe high spots or low spots. And sometimes you would even see fish swimming through the grass and actively feeding, making me think that, man, I really need to be throwing a moving bait, and it actually paid off. So paying attention to that forward-facing sonar, using it in a lot of different ways, not just seeing fish and catching fish that you physically see, but more so using it to find structure, find cover. And I'm telling you guys, if you utilize it for that particular reason, you're gonna catch way more fish. But matching the hatch, using Active Target 2 today, we're gonna catch a few more today. I'm gonna get back to it before it gets super hot. Maybe we'll catch a big one.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Powerful, total boat control. Balls Out, made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on, challenge your limits.
Ooh, oh. He got it too. Oh my gosh. coming to it. Ooh, God. He got it too. Oh my gosh. I saw him flash underneath it. And then he decided he was just gonna unload on that KVD splash. Yeah, that was awesome. That was an awesome, awesome blow up. My popper got all messed up too. That was incredible. Let's see, he's gonna jump again. I knew he was gonna do it again. Oh, come here. Come here, fish. Oh, there we go. KVD splash to the face. Oh my gosh. Did y'all see that unbelievable blow up right there? Goodness gracious. We're here at Lone Star Lake, also known as Ellison Creek. That's a great fish for a topwater. I mean, guys, so I'm gonna play it back for you real quick. I'm sitting there and I look down at my active target and I see 3 or 4 fish right underneath the surface. I throw my KVD splash over there and I see them kind of go down and they're kind of like swimming around, and all of a sudden I see one angle up and I'm like, yeah, fish might actually eat it. And I see him come up under it physically with my eyes, and he goes back down. I'm like, okay, he's not gonna eat it. My topwater got all messed up, and he went over there and he crushed on it. I mean, like, holy cow. But guys, one thing that you always need to take note of is whenever you do get on a good topwater bite, you get on these schooling fish, is to really pay attention. Find a topwater that matches the bait fish size. You know, I started out with a sexy dog, but the shad out here were really small, 1.5 inches, 2 inches long. Sexy dog's a pretty big bait. They're still blowing up here behind me. But getting that KVD splash, the smaller version of it, and you could even go to the tiny version of the KVD splash. The most important thing is matching that hatch, having that little bit of white feather on the back, because it looks so much like a little baby shad, and they're gonna come up there and destroy it. We've had quite a few bites already doing this. I can't wait to get back out there. They're just blowing up everywhere. I'll see y'all here in just a second.
Hey y'all, welcome to my favorite part of the show, the Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia Coastal Fishing Report. This segment's brought to you by me, Captain Patrick Ellison with Ugly Fishing. You can check out my website at uglyfishing.com. Book online, as well as some money-saving opportunities on the homepage with saltsgone, lurenet.com, and Pure Flats Fishing, creator of the Slick Lure. Our first report comes from the Georgia area. I know they're dealing with some the remnants of a hurricane coming through recently, but Greg Hildreth with Georgia Charter Fishing said that the tarpon bite is doing really well. He said that the speckled trout bite is beginning to slow down as these temperatures have gotten a lot warmer. And he said he's still doing really good on whiting and catching a few pompano. Here along the Alabama coast, at first light, within the first couple hours, the species may be a wide variety. Maybe speckled trout, maybe redfish, jacks, maybe find those guys blowing up in some pogies. Speckled trout, redfish, and flounder also may give you some opportunities around the tide change whenever you find that throughout the course of the day when you're fishing. Hey y'all, thanks for checking out this week's report. Y'all remember, only keep what you need, leave the rest, and God bless, guys.
Here they come. There we go. Golly. That was awesome. That was awesome. Not even a big one, but goodness gracious. Talk about calling your shot. That was so cool. Oh, I hate when they're hooked like that because they're just asking for trouble. Man, oh man, little fish, but man, what an awesome blow up. Catching schooling fish in the middle of summer is a mainstay, like a staple for this time of year. It gets really hot, we get a thermocline, pushes those bait fish up, and those fish feed on these really sunny days. Earlier today, we had a little bit of front come through. It was wind and clouds and stuff like that, but now we're starting to get that heat. It's starting to get really hot out here. Those fish are rising up in the water column and they're starting to school, starting to hunt all over the place. Look down at my Lowrance active target too. I saw 6 or 8 of them actually scanning under the water. They weren't blown up yet, but I knew they were coming, so I threw my KVD splash over there. The rest is history. But paying attention to little details. paying attention when the sun comes out, what direction the wind's blowing, where do you see shad. All of those little bitty details, especially this time of year, the middle of the summer, the hottest dog days of summer, are some of the most important details that you don't want to miss. So I'm gonna get back to it. The fish are biting. They're eating my little KVD splash like crazy.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Strike King, Tie One On, and by Glacier Outdoors since 1982.
Oh, that wasn't a big one that hit it. That one is a big one that missed it. Oh my gosh. That's a pretty good one, I think. He's acting like he's a good one. No, he ain't that good. There's 100 of them under the boat right now. Ain't bad though. Stocky one. Oh, golly. You know, you get a lot of people asking, like, do I need to change hooks and all that stuff? Don't get me wrong, in certain tournament situations, I change hooks. But the ones that come on that KVD Splash are some of the sharpest, strongest hooks that I've found. And I really don't ever change them. I mean, it's one of those that really work well. But real fast, I'm gonna show you how to fish this topwater. You know, I get a lot of questions on, you know, do I fish it fast? Do I fish it slow? And one of the big important things, it depends on the color of your bait, especially in schooling fish. If you're gonna throw more of a white bait, like what I'm throwing here, I wanna fish the bait a little bit faster. I don't want them to get as good a look at the bait. And if I'm gonna throw more of a transparent bait, that's when I'm actually gonna fish the bait a little slower. And every day is gonna be a little bit different. You know, they might eat one better one day and then different the next. But when I'm throwing the white one, I'm fishing a little bit faster. They're keying in on the color of the bait. But when, you know, if you throw a more transparent bait, a lot of times you see the fish actually miss it if you fish the bait too fast because it blends with the water so well. And the fish can't really get keyed in on it as good as maybe they should be. So really pay attention when you're out there, and you'll be surprised the difference if you do. Oh, I want that one. I don't even care about this one that's trying to hit it. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, I got it. God, it's not the right one. I feel so bad for these guys over here. Oh, there's like 20 of them with it. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I don't know how that one didn't come up. Oh, spoke too soon. See, the deal is there's some deep grass right here. And these fish, what they're doing, what I'm figuring out is they're sitting on this open water and they're pushing these fish, these shad to this openings on top of this grass mat. And these fish are just pushing all around. I mean, like, as you can tell, they're just literally schooling everywhere. Oh, he knocked it out of the water. Oh, that wasn't a big one that hit it. That one is a big one that missed it. How is he missing it that often? Oh, I got him. I just felt him. I never even saw that one hit it. I think my bait was all messed up. Oh, yeah. That's a good one there. Golly, he's got that thing choked. Jeez, that's a good fish there. There, I knew you weren't done yet. I mean, check that out, guys. Wow. I mean, I'm gonna have to get some pliers on that one because that thing is deep, deep, deep. There we go, just like that. Let's get this fish back real fast. Guys, today has been incredible. And we started out fishing shallow, throwing a hybrid hunter around, caught a really nice one first thing, lost a couple really good ones though. And that's the reality of fishing this time of year. Sometimes they short strike those baits. And I don't know if we necessarily had the right conditions for what we were trying to do this morning, but as that sun came up, as those clouds went away, and the heat really started kicking on, the fish started biting. They started schooling. And I pulled out my old trusty KVD Splash. You know, I've shot a couple shows on this KVD Splash. It is still one of the top baits that I've ever caught them on. It's a small bait, but it catches big fish. You know, that's just another example of a really nice one. We actually lost probably the biggest one of the day on the KVD Splash. But anytime you can go chase schooling fish in the heat of the summer, it is gonna be a fun time. I'm gonna leave you with this though. Most important thing, match the hatch this time of year. Adjust your topwater size based off the bait fish that you see. You'll see them flickering sometimes. Sometimes when you catch a fish, you'll actually see the shad or the bait fish inside the fish's mouth. Today we saw them in both situations. I saw them in the fish's mouth and I saw them floating. They're really small shad. That KVD Splash matches them perfectly. As you can tell, they're wolf packing on the back end of that KVD Splash. So I'm gonna head back on in. It's already 105 degrees out here. I'm hot, my cameraman's hot. We'll see y'all here in just a second.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Tourism. Let's fish on Alabama's beaches. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by passion. Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Guys, today was one of those phenomenal, fun fishing, hot days here in the middle of summer. You know, we started the day out using one of my favorite baits. This is the Strike King Hybrid Hunter. Ghost purple in color. Caught one really nice one right off the bat. Actually lost 2 or 3 other really good ones. But as the day progressed, as the heat came on and that sun came out, changed to a little minnow style bait on the jig head. Caught a couple on active target doing that. But let me tell you guys, there was one bait that basically caught 95% of the fish today. And that's when we picked up the old faithful KVD Splash. I mean, this was a brand new bait when I picked it up, and it is chewed to death. I actually had to change my back hook because I caught so many that I broke one of the hooks off. But I was using 30-pound braid on that, and just a natural shad color, a white belly, fishing it quick across the surface on those surfacing and schooling fish. A 6'9" square bill crankbait rod with a 7.5-to-1 gear ratio Lew's Hyper Mag reel. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, this combo right here is one of the oldest combos that I own. It's just something that's really comfortable for me. It fits in my hand. The braid is old. All of it's old because this is just the combo that I throw topwater on day in and day out, especially my smaller topwaters. But guys, Ellison Creek has been amazing. I love fishing new bodies of water, figuring them out and finding fish that I've never caught before. I learn something every single time that I go fishing, and I definitely learned something this week on Ellison Creek, and I hope you did too. And until next time, I'll see you on the water.